at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Sanders first carry of the game, and he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down, back to Sanders, and he'll get this up only to about the 33.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
An early task, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. He gets away from one. And some space here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
Oh, they go with a tight end carry. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
On 2nd down now, it's Sanders, and he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. They're going to look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
It hasn't been a real good start to this game from a defensive perspective, but now after the incompletion on 2nd down, things may be changing. If they can come up with one more play, they might be able to get out of it with just a field goal attempt.
Two incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. They'll stick with the passing game. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Really something about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take for 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They'll drop to throw. Eagle pressure, too much this time. The sack there by Brandon Graham coming in and bringing him down to the ground. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And pressure coming, and they got it once again. Brandon Graham able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Richard Rodgers, that time. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. He'll drop to throw. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. On first down, Sanders. Tackle made that time by Brandon Brand.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. And he finds the tight end, Rodgers. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and throw for it here. He's got Dallas Goedert, his tight end, over the middle. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 49 yards rushing for him now to this point. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. A lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rodney McLeod. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get their first down. The Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Well, I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over it, and they got there to break that one up.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 43. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. On first down, Hurts. And this is caught by Watkins. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. For the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown. Devontae Smith in the final seconds of the first half. And the Eagles have taken the lead. So that really an almost perfect drive as they chew up some clock and wind up scoring late in this first half.
And remember, they've got a chance to double dip here because they're going to get the ball first to start the third quarter. So the potential could go up 2 scores before the other guys get a chance to do anything.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Rodgers on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. 1 second, all that remains. They'll throw now on the final play. Airing it out deep for Smith. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line can play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. He delivers another to Goddard, complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second down, back to Sanders. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big play that time on the catch and run.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 down at the 33. Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Darius Slay with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
A nice run there by Sanders on 1st down as he'll wind up with a gain of about 7 before he's brought down.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
They are pushed back 5 yards by the delay of game. 2nd and 8. Another run here with Sanders. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. They'll set up to throw. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the 1st. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Always important as a defender on 3rd down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the 1st down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on 4th. Throwing is Hurts. That's to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Back to throw. Hauled in over the middle by Rager.
That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be dropped. Brandon Graham make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Eagles on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12. He'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Now to try the Eagle field goal, Jake Elliott. The kick by Elliott is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 63 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating there. coverage defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
That'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
From the 44, Hurts. That'll be caught by Rodgers. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. Buying time to his left. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there and in the process picks up the 1st down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a 1st down.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Left side here to Sanders. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Now a timeout called for by the offense as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Sanders. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay. And that'll set them back 5. And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. They'll look to throw again. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Anthony Harris. And the Eagles come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So it's a victory.